Gabby grieves for Stefan. What does Jordan have in mind for Ben and Sierra? And Sarah almost spills the beans. You guys ready? Let's dish.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, the buzz begins.
Hey everyone, welcome to Dishin Days. We are AfterBuzz TV's weekly recap of NBC's Emmy Award-winning soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm Tami Goveia. Let me just dance for a second. Joined by two of AfterBuzz TV's best hosts. We've got Mr.
Michael Mattes right here.
Yes.
Apparently, the best AfterBuzz host.
Absolutely.
That's an honor.
One show, but whatever. I'll take it.
It's yours.
Take it for the taking. And hi everyone, I'm Chelsie Overocker.
Oh, hey, Chelsea.
Oh, hey. Hi.
What's up, you guys?
It's like, what?
If you're in the chat room right now,
Hi, chat
joining
room.
our live show, hi, chat room. We always love to see who's in there and what you guys thought about the week. And it was a crazy, emotional week.
Mm-hmm.
If you are one of our podcast listeners, hello, podcast listener. Please give us a review on iTunes. 5 stars is always preferable, but just let us know what you think about the show. Let us know how we're doing. We always enjoy the feedback. And guess what? AfterBuzz TV has soap recap shows across the board. So, if you're a General Hospital fan, we have the GH Report. If you are a YNR fan, we have the Restless Wrap. If you're a Bold and the Beautiful fan, we have a monthly recap called The Bold Breakdown that is scheduled for November. So please, check those shows out. The shows are amazing, the hosts are amazing, and of course, the soaps are amazing. So please support. Follow us. I know we say this every single week, but you guys, it really matters. So on Facebook and Insta, you can follow Dishin Days at Dishin Days. And on Twitter, you can find us at, I like to do, _ Dishin Days. Because the at...
She's voguing over here.
She's voguing. The at is always implied. Follow, support, like, comment, share it with a loved one. Yay! I think that's it for all the little announcements. Yeah?
Yeah.
We good? All right.
Sounds good to me.
What'd you guys think about this week?
I liked this week.
Yeah, I loved this week.
You know,
it was like...
There. I wouldn't say there was a big event or any real high drama, but I was engaged the whole week and entertained, which is always thumbs up for me.
Very engaged, just what Michael said. Each day had its own little twist to it. No, I think it was a solid week. This is a week where I didn't get bored, and I'm guilty of this, but sometimes I kind of do other things, or I'm on my phone, but I literally I put my phone down and I was fully in tuned in this week.
Do you know what the official term for that is?
What is it?
Second screening.
What is that? What do you mean second
Marketing,
screening?
right here. Second screening is and at least in the realm of marketing is if you're watching a TV show, second screening is you have a second screen, your phone, your iPad.
So that's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing unless you're responding to something that you saw on the show. Like if you're watching a TV show and they say, "Hey, go to our Twitter or follow us on Twitter or go to that's good second screening for the TV show." But when you're bored and you're just I'll see what's up on Twitter or Facebook and you're ignoring what's happening, that's bad second screening.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
there you go.
I was not second screening
I've done my
this
job
week
for the day
on Days of Our Lives, and thank you, Michael Mattes, for that information.
Everyone's
like,
a term that
let's
did
go,
not
people.
exist, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I know. I'm going to start
Which is
using
crazy.
that.
Second screening.
Second screening.
There's a lot of chatter about, just before we get into it, shout out to Camila Banus, one of our faves.
Yes.
Because she's just knocking it out of the house for yet a second week.
Yes.
So hopefully an Emmy nomination will come her way.
Because I remember I loved her performance during the whole Nick story because it was so intense.
Yeah.
But man, I honestly didn't know.
Daquan just mentioned that, and as you said it,
really,
Gabby really got my attention during the Nick storyline.
Yeah. Her level of performances this week was just holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Really
She's really
great.
bringing it.
And in regards to kind of my take on the week, remember the old trains where they had a coal guy in the back and he was
shoveling coal
shoveling
in
coal to keep it going.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. I felt like there was someone constantly shoveling coal because there was the movement this week was just constant, nonstop, and everything mattered.
Yeah.
So
Is that everything mattered?
Is that an old term? The shoveling?
It's not a term.
Shady Sunday.
It's just it's not an old term. You little whippersnapper.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
You need
Just
to
kidding.
watch some classic films.
I need to watch some classic films.
Yes.
Subscribe button.
And subscribe. And subscribe because we always love that.
Oh, I agree with you, Tammy. It's like the man shoveling at the train station.
Sure.
Okay.
On that note, are we ready?
Yes, I think it's time to start
Dishin Days. Okay, you guys. Let's start with Gabby, the now dearly departed Stefan, Julie Lonnie, Eli Kayla, parentheses Will, Sunny, and Kate. So, going back to what we were talking about Gabby being devastated, she reacted the way I would have reacted. Like, take me home, leave me alone.
Well, that's when you're grieving. You want to be able to grieve kind of alone.
But not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Some people, like Gabby, I would have thought maybe would have just been like, not in denial, but she would have just like not grieved, not cried as much as she did, but just like, okay, now I'm going to focus on Demira Enterprises and I'm going to blah, 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 blah.
Oh, avoidance.
I just, you know, my
And then
heart,
broken down like later.
my heart was breaking when she was in his suit, like his suit jacket,
baloney.
and just crying in the bed. But the person that snapped her out of it was Kate. She's like, wake up, what are you doing? You can run Demira because I'm probably going to go back over to Kyriakis.
Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll talk about it when we
We'll
get
talk
there.
later.
Yeah.
But that's when she kind of snapped out of it, like, oh, well, it's on. And now, towards the end of the week, like, she got into that revenge mode.
Yeah.
But the beginning of the week and all of last week, she was in that grieving moment. And I felt for her. And that would have been me with cookie dough ice cream. Yeah.
Would have been me with pizza and wine.
Yeah.
I would have taken Tylenol PM. and
Okay,
just-
she was there.
I sleep.
Not that we could.
You know, I sleep. I just want something to knock me out for a little while. But
You
then
just
there
don't
was
wanna
that
feel,
moment where she did fall asleep, and you wake up, and you forget. You forget the pain, and then all of a sudden, it just comes in waves. It's like, oh my God.
So, I was kind of hoping that maybe she would kind of get over the revenge thing, like maybe come to her senses and realize that it wasn't really Lonnie's fault. Because let's face it was not Lonnie's fault that Lonnie shot Stefan.
Agreed.
It was Stefan and Vivian together, I feel, because Stefan is the one that jumped in front of the bullet. Vivian was the reason Lonnie had the gun out.
But even
in the first
Kate
place.
said, I understand you needing to blame someone.
Right,
Because
exactly.
when you lose someone, that's the first thing you do is start blaming.
I was just hoping, like, after, like, her nap and when she woke up, maybe she would, or whatever you want to call it.
Her nap of grief.
Yeah, exactly. That maybe she would have realized, but I also see the need for conflict, so it's still there.
And that's been her MO, though, the revenge thing, especially with Abigail.
Eye for an eye.
Since it's been that way. And I was surprised when she went into revenge mode back then. That surprised me. Because that wasn't typical Gabby behavior up until then, right?
Right. Well, it was just, at that point, like, her need for revenge made sense because it was just, like, she kept getting, like, I mean, at some point, literally punched in the gut. Like, she was framed for a murder she didn't commit. She was sent to jail. She was beat up in jail, which led her to being infertile. It was just like, how much can a girl take or how much can anyone take before they feel that need, like, somebody has to pay for this. Like, this is none of my doing, and someone needs to pay for it. And so at that point, I think it did make sense for her to kind of need revenge. Now I think maybe her grief for what happened to Stefan is fueling her need for revenge. Yeah.
And I love that monologue she had in the chapel with God.
Oh,
that was tough because that's, again, a very, like, I totally get that. Like, why do you hate me so much?
Yes, that gave me goosebumps when she said, why do you hate me, God? Why? I used to look up to you, and now you just let me down.
You've taken everything away from me.
And it's a very realistic thing because I know a lot of people would feel that way. You know, they praise God, and then a terrible thing happens to them one after the other, and they're thinking, why are you doing this to me? So it was a very heartful moment seeing Gabby in the chapel, just breaking down.
She talks about the dress that she made.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
and
come on,
everything.
writers, man.
It was good stuff.
Man, it was good
Good
stuff.
stuff. And the delivery was spot on.
Yeah.
Before Will and Sunny. For Will and Sunny, the what would you call them right now? They don't really have their own storyline. They just kind of pop up everywhere. Pop-ins.
And it's
we'll call them
they're pop-ins.
We'll call them pop-ins. They popped in
Pop
to
in.
the chapel and took care of her. And I do appreciate that relationship. The Will, Sunny,
Gabby, not
Camilla, Gabby.
Yeah.
Relationship. They really are family. They act like family, and they're. When Will was in the hospital, Gabby was there, and now she's
great.
grieving, and Will and Sunny are there for her. And it's like they're not forgetting that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that. I appreciate that.
Then there was, okay, I'm a little, not confused, but I'm going, There was the whole conversation with Julie having some issues now. And everyone was freaking out because they thought, oh my God, is she rejecting Stefan's heart? But Caleb made it clear, no, there's no rejection. Everything is fine. But there's other medical condition that she's going to need a pacemaker. And there's this new technology now where she doesn't have to have surgery, which is great.
And I was wondering, okay, so that whole exchange with Kayla, when Gabby kind of perks up and she's like, oh, I remember hearing about this. And I was like, okay, what's she gonna have to do with this? And then it comes around that who owns the technology? Visionary Bionics?
Yeah, I think so.
So we're going back to this
And that's a
stupid
Demira
eye thing.
Enterprise
Yeah.
company.
Okay, so yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm curious about what her agenda is with this now. Is she going to speed up the process? Like, is she gonna enable Kayla to get it quick? Because Kayla made the comment, oh, I don't know when we'll be able to get it. Or is she going to prevent it from happening?
She's going to hold it against...
You think she's going to hold it hostage?
Yes,
yeah.
And I think it has to do with Lonnie. She's going to... Because she's not done with her yet. That was just the
she
start.
made that
She hasn't even
clear.
started.
No.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big piece. She's going to hold that pacemaker technology.
Speaking of Lonnie, someone in the chat room, I'll find it, said... Lonnie needs to fall down a well. So I'm not a fan of Lonnie, I guess. I can't find it, but it was earlier
That's
in the
terrible.
chat room. It just made me giggle.
I
don't know.
I like Lonnie. She's just been put in a really bad place.
I can see
Mike Bowman.
Gabby finagling that.
Well,
Mike-
absolutely, yeah.
Thank you, Mike Bowman, for the Shady Sunday comment. Lonnie can fall down a well, is what he said. Anyway, moving on.
Poor Lonnie.
I was kind of hoping, this is another thing I'm hoping for, that Julie and Gabby will bury the hatchet. And, like, I was really hoping for...
Bury the pacemaker.
I'm a sucker for some emotional, like, scenes and some scenes that give you the feels. And I was kind of hoping that we would have, like, a Gabby... Julie scene where they kind of hash everything out and they cry a little and then they're good from then on. But then it went the other way where, Julie has a problem before Gabby can come see her.
I know. I did love, though, that when Gabby was in the room and she saw that Doug called her, her face just softened a little bit. And she was like, Doug? She's like, no, it's Julie. Can you come down to the hospital? I need to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did want to see a scene with them just kind of coming to amends a little bit. I think that would have happened. But that was just really nice. And that's the Gabby that we all know that is coming back. But then, I'm telling you, every time she sees Lonnie, that's when it just goes, it comes a 360.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love the reconciliation, like you guys said, but I have this very dark story in my brain where, she's going to say, Gabby's going to give permission to have this pacemaker technology put in, and she's going to hold it over Julie's head one of these days. She's going to say, look, old lady, I can turn off your pacemaker anytime I want to.
Well, yeah, so to remind everybody, to remind myself, Visionary Bionics made Steve's bionic eye.
Yes.
Which Stefan was able to control and hold over Kayla when he was blackmailing her and forcing her to, like, spy on Kate and stuff. So it does stand to reason that this piece of technology would be able to be controlled remotely, and Gabby with a phone or something being like, push the button.
Exactly.
I don't know how I feel about
when
that.
technology's put into the wrong hands.
I don't know how I feel about that. But we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
She may not ever hold it over Julie. She'll definitely hold it over Lonnie.
So
yeah.
so we like the Kate Gabby dynamic.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
Gabby is Kate is like a mother figure to her and has been for a while. And yeah, it was Kate, like you said, that kind of snapped her out of it, out of her grief. And I'm curious to see how the Demira CEO, Titan CEO will shake out. If they're going to end up being rivals, or if they're going to team up on one company or another, because then there's Tony in the mix of the CEO business. Yeah, I'm curious where this is all. I'm hoping this is all like leading to
something, because
it's all leading to something. But,
it's all leading to something, but nothing's ever. Nothing obviously is never permanent on a daytime soap opera.
Even death.
But exactly. But these storylines don't hold for very long. Kate is CEO. Great. Now things just change so
quickly.
Often.
Do you think it's too quick?
It's like I want something to stick.
Well, and it's
I want a storyline that sticks.
Well, I think in this day, like attention spans aren't as long as they used to be because of second screening.
Yeah.
No, but so I think they try to write in a way that's quick enough to keep the attention. But maybe in some instances it's too quick. Like things are just changing too quick, and maybe they need to slow down the pace a little bit. It's also
one of those things where I get excited. Kate's in charge of, and now she's not. Like,
I feel like this team of writers just doesn't know how to write Kate.
But I will give a shout out. Only Kate can do this. Did she not look fabulous when she walked out of the hospital? And of course...
Can we just back up the robe?
Oh, yeah.
The robe?
Yeah, the robe.
I mean, she looked good in...
Like, did she have Lucas go home and get that robe for her to bring... Or,
probably.
Or Will or someone? Because, oh my God, I wanted that robe so bad.
And just like Kate, when Will and Sunny... Was it Will and Sunny that come? When it was Lucas, it was Lucas and Will that came. It was Lonnie and Eli that came, and then that's when she just snuck out. Like, where'd Kate go?
Oh,
and she's on the elevator.
I was like, that's how I react when there's good news that affects me. And I'm like, oh, that's such good news, and
I know that's just amazing, and just go this way.
I cracked up, and then they're like, yeah, we think your mom has other ideas, and she's like, bye.
Bye. The car's waiting. I'll see you later.
I called the car. So yeah, we kind of veered off from.
Yeah, sorry. I just had to put that shout out.
This is of the storyline, but yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, so did we cover everything?
Yeah.
Visionary Bionics.
Well, we won't get into the whole Kate thing, CEO thing until later. So yeah, that's it for that.
All right. Cool.
Whew, okay. Next up, you guys, Sarah Xander. Sarah, man, people are asking, like, what is wrong with her? She's pregnant, y'all. It's hormones. She's a little cuckoo. Sarah, Xander, Eric, Nicole, Dr. Rolf, Brady, Maggie, Kristen, John and Marlena. It's funny.
John and Marlena were Poppins this week, too.
They're Poppins, too. Instead of Mary Poppins, it's Will and Sunny Poppins. It's John and Marlena
Beware of the Poppins.
Beware of the Poppins.
Arrested Development. Whatever. So, Xander sent...
It's a deal with the devil, man.
Yeah. So, recapping a little bit, Xander sent the pregnancy results so that Eric would open them and want Sarah to stay in Salem and convince Sarah to stay in Salem. But then he had an alternative vision. Yeah, we'll call it a vision of what might happen, where it didn't go so well, and Sarah
and she punches him.
She
didn't whack him this time.
That's right.
I laughed out loud, like literally. It wasn't just an LOL. It was like for real, laughed out loud.
So then he's like, "OMG, I need to stop it." So he tried to stop Rolf, but Rolf had already delivered the results to Nicole, who was. I appreciated the scenes of her like. Getting her orange juice with the envelope sitting on the table, like trying not to read them, and she's just like, she could only occupy herself.
And this was coming off the conversation that Eric and she had about the fact that Nicole overheard a conversation between Marlena and Eric, right?
Right, about Sarah.
About, Sarah's not pregnant, but blah, blah, blah. And then all those old insecurities of Nicole just came rushing to the surface.
That's always been something Nicole has been, like, that's really true to the character. Nicole has dealt with her relationship insecurities her entire time on the show. Like, that's always her... fear of losing, I guess, maybe, or just not being
Not being
loved.
good enough.
Not being good enough.
Not being good
Perfect.
enough.
Perfect, yeah.
And especially with Eric and how much he loves kids and family, that monster insecurity just came rearing its head up to the surface, which kind of surprised me because I thought maybe she had reconciled all that a little bit because of Eric's love. That maybe that wouldn't be such a driving force for her nowadays.
But this is Nicole, yeah.
But it's Nicole.
It's her fallback,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And it usually gets her into trouble. But it's entertaining to watch. And Ari Zucker, one thing I noticed about Ari Zucker, she can act with her eyes.
Yeah.
I noticed this with her and someone else on the show who I can't remember, but the way she emotes with her eyes, like you can tell how she's
Lindsay
feeling.
Godfrey's like that too.
I think that's who I was thinking
she can
of.
just stare and there's 3,000 stories going on.
Oh yeah, you can tell immediately without words or any facial expression exactly what she's thinking, which is great.
Can we get more scenes with Nicole and Dr. Ralph, though? Because when they're on the couch and, he's explaining, it's Kristen's baby, she's pregnant, and then they decline my services. She's like, I can't imagine why.
Can't imagine why.
Neither can I. And he was, like, shocked, too, not, like, even sarcastic. Neither can I. She's like, okay, then, I think you need to go. But them two are just so great together. I really like them too.
I agree.
I love those scenes with Dr. Rolf with anybody.
Oh yeah,
because he's just got this really dry.
That's it. It's the dryness.
Yeah, he's
I
so dry. And it's interesting because the days when you read about the writers and how they're writing Dr. Rolf, they consider him now that Stefano's not on the landscape. Dr. Rolf is considered the new villain.
Yeah,
but he's kind of a villain that makes you laugh.
Yes.
Like Stefano never made me laugh.
There were a couple times, like there were times here and there, but no, Stefano was
threatening. And
yeah, exactly. Very
Dr.
daunting.
Rolf, I don't feel threatened by
Dr.
by Dr. Rolf. I should be.
Just don't turn your back to him.
I know.
Hope made that mistake last week.
No,
I was like, sweetie. And then get to that later.
With Xander too, when he's calling him, he's like, "Oh, I don't have the envelope. Oh, good, I left it with Nicole.
You did.
He
just
falls ass out of there.
bolted out of there." And then Kristen's just looking at him like,
"Oh yeah," because there was that
told you
scene with
so.
The scene with Kristen and Xander.
Yes.
They didn't make a deal, did they make a deal with something?
She just said, okay, I will have you call Dr. Ralph from my phone so he knows to answer, but you owe me. So she technically has one up now on him, even though he didn't get the results he wanted.
And then the deal he made with Rolf was that he would get lab space at Titan. Because we can't forget that Xander does work for Titan in some capacity. I can't remember what capacity, but he works at Titan.
But everyone, Kristen, Dr. Ralph, they just look at Xander like, you're an idiot. Because he has these different scenarios of how it's all going to work out in his favor. And it just doesn't. Even Kristen's just like, why would you do this to yourself? Why would you put yourself in this situation?
It's interesting, watching it this week and hearing you talk like that. It's almost like Xander and Nicole are similar in that they act out of feeling not good enough. Is that what you think Xander's
well, especially,
kind of going through now?
when it comes to Sarah, Xander certainly feels that he's not even in the same league as Sarah,
and he's doing all these things to keep her there, and so he can prove to her that he's her lobster.
What does that mean?
Okay, sidebar. It's a Friends reference when Ross and Rachel were broken up, and Phoebe was like, they're going to get back together, and the rest of them are like, how do you know? And he's like, because she's his lobster. Yes. Or he's her lobster. And then at the end of the episode, Ross and Rachel reunite, and the last line of the show is Phoebe going, see? She's his lobster.
So what, do lobsters mate for life? Like, I don't get the lobster reference.
I have the definition right here.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ryan. Ryan Nilsson, our number one fan.
Thank you. Yes, this is not the voice of God. This is from the Friends Dictionary, bustle.com.
Friends Dictionary,
Friends
OMG.
Dictionary. Lobster refers to a person of whom another is meant to be with forever. The term originated due to the fact that lobsters mate for life.
There you go, which is very rare in the animal kingdom.
That is so... I want a lobster.
Oh!
You'll get one, girl. If I can get one, you got one.
Aww.
Yeah.
We're going to find a lobster
anyway,
for Chelsea.
So back to Xander and Sarah.
You're welcome.
Shout out to someone in the chat room. Let me get that back up here. Toes Girls, TOEWSGIRLZ. Toes Girls says they love Xander and Zara. I ship them so bad. Great chemistry. I'm hoping somehow everybody, or not everybody, but I've seen a lot of people wanting Xander to actually be the daddy of the baby. Now, in order for that to happen, Xander and Sarah would have had to have a second
that hasn't been talked about.
That hasn't been talked about and that was off screen, which is not out of the realm of daytime or soap operas or Days of Our Lives. So,
but she got test results.
She did get the test results, but
paternity test.
Those I don't trust paternity results either.
Yeah.
Some little minion or Dr. Rolf could have been in there being like, and it could be written that way. Or whatever,
It's just too far of a stretch.
It is a bit far of a stretch now, given what we've seen.
Because she's slept, obviously with Rex and
yeah.
Well, because that's what she didn't know if it was Rex or Eric.
Well, and Eric, she slept with Rex and Eric way after.
So then later in the week, Sarah walks in on Xander and Maggie having a conversation, and.
Did you just want to reach through the television and just put your hand over her mouth?
Yeah, and I was like, girl, you're falling into a trap here. Like, we see what's happening here. No, he obviously didn't tell her about the baby. He told her something else, that you were leaving. Even Mark, my husband, was watching it with me, and he only watches sporadically. But even he was like, he didn't tell her about the baby. I was like, see, you're
well, my brain was working really fast. Like, I know it's not the baby. What could be? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's her leaving town.
Xander made a point by saying, before you continue, you might want to stop before you say something you're going to regret. Because he even said, it's not what you think.
Yeah.
And that wasn't going to stop her if Maggie hadn't continued with her train of thought. No. And said, did you really expect me not to notice that you had left town? Wah, wah, wah.
Okay, so Robin Mahoney on the back to Xander. Xander possibly being the daddy. If it was a possibility, Xander would already be like, Xander would know. He would already be wanting a paternity test to see if he was the dad.
Yeah.
So, good point.
Yeah.
If he thought it was possible, he would be asking for a test. Okay.
And he wouldn't be scrambling to try to get her to stay in town because he would know he was baby daddy and
Okay.
But Sarah's actions...
I still want them together, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like 100%.
I ship them so hard as well.
Yeah.
Especially this week. Their on-screen chemistry
I know.
So good.
The way that they interact off each other.
Love it.
She kind of sways. When they're having a conversation, Sarah kind of sways back and forth.
She does.
She kind of sways into him, and then she sways away, and then she sways
Well, it's
into
funny.
him.
I think that's intentional. I think, she's trying to, resist a little bit, but you can tell she's got the feel.
Magnetic pool.
She's got the feels.
She has the feels.
Yeah.
I made a girl. Sarah's actions is going, not so much anyone else going to find out, but her actions, because she's just on the fence about everything, that is starting to stir up some suspicion with Maggie. Because on Friday's episode, when Eric comes in, he's like, I know about the baby. The plates dropped, everything. And Maggie's looking at her like, what is wrong with you?
Well, Maggie did say, I know there's something you're not telling me.
I thought at that moment, maybe Maggie would figure out, she's also pregnant.
Yeah.
I thought maybe because of the talk about the baby and everything. I thought, the way Suzanne Rogers played that, I thought, she's going to come back and be like, you're pregnant, aren't you? But that didn't happen, so...
No, but Maggie, she doesn't leave stuff alone. It's still in her mind. She's paying
She had to go stretch.
She is. She's paying very close attention to Sarah now that she's going to be there for those next 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like Xander said, a lot can happen in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying it's going to be more of her actions that's going to give it away, not so much that she should worry that Xander shouldn't keep his mouth shut, which he hasn't. But it's going to be good the way it's going to come out because more people are involved with this now.
Another sidebar, chat room chatter reminding us that Orlando Williams and Kimberly Howard, Sarah never took a paternity test. She only took a pregnancy test. Mm-hmm. And she's making the assumption from the timing that...
Are you for real?
I think so, yeah. Now that they reminded me, I don't think she took a paternity test. I think that she...
But she wasn't even sure who the baby daddy was. I think.
Okay, chat room. Can we get a definitive answer? Did she take a paternity test?
I thought it wasn't
because even if she got a confirmation that she's pregnant, I would still think she'd have some doubt if it was Rex or Eric.
Yeah, but she's so sure that it's Eric's.
So, yeah.
Maybe there was something that we're forgetting about how she figured out the timing of the last time she and Rex made love, and then when she and Eric made love. And maybe how far along she knew she was didn't match up to the last time she and Rex did their thing.
We need some confirmation. Because that didn't even enter my brain.
Days of Our Lives fan Melissa Boyette says no, she did not take a paternity test.
OMG.
Diane Sharupski says no, she did not take a pregnancy test. Haywood Wong, yep, no paternity test. So...
Oh my gosh.
Marlon Wallace, she took blood test for pregnancy. She took a blood test for pregnancy. For paternity, she would need DNA from the father. Which, okay.
I'm shocked that they haven't gone down that road.
No.
Maybe they're just building up this whole Eric thing. And then, oh my gosh, this is great. I didn't even think about this. This is awesome.
Makes me more excited.
It just makes me happy. But I do think when it came to Xander possibly being the father, that wasn't on the table because it had happened so long ago that the contenders would have been Rex and Eric.
Contenders.
The contenders.
Okay,
gosh. Well, that's awesome. I love that.
Tyler Najir says, yeah, she counted on her fingers. I think how long,
missing
like weeks or whatever, like how far along she. There you go. No DNA test was done.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for reminding us.
We also had some really nice scenes between Eric and Sarah.
Yeah, they kind of got a little bit of. Well, Eric thinks they got closure. Sarah still has this nugget of baby info that she's not sharing, but in Eric's mind, they kind of reconciled everything that happened and are moving on.
I know, but Eric just kind of annoyed me because, and then Sarah fainted, and he was there to catch her.
Does that really happen?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the hormones.
Yeah, especially if you're not eating. And you're working really hard.
But that's right, he brought her the yogurt.
It's a blood sugar thing.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was in surgery for hours.
Yeah.
So, it makes sense why she fainted.
Yeah. But, part of me thought, Eric, you just need to back off. You're not part of the equation anymore. He's just a little too...
I think to just ease his own conscience, he needed that conversation to happen.
Yeah.
That's Eric.
He still cares for her.
I thought that was the Brady voice.
I think it's Eric. I think Eric Martsolf was wrong. We'll talk about that Eric Martsolf, because I think I used that voice for Eric, not Brady. So maybe he got confused when I was saying Eric. Like we always get confused when we're talking about Brady.
That's true.
Eric.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I should go back and look at the
clips.
I should look at every episode I'm on to see who I did it for. Anyway,
Xander, Sarah, Eric, Sarah.
Who, me?
Who
Xander,
who
Sarah.
Are you shipping?
Xander, Sarah.
Xander, Sarah.
I think they could rule Salem.
Yeah.
Oh, them two together. Yeah. It was a nice moment with Eric and Sarah, but like you said, Eric needed that closure, and it was just a one-way street for that closure.
Yep, that's a great way to describe it.
And she made it pretty clear
she did
that there's no closure on her end. That's why she's leaving town.
Yes. And he's even questioned, "Are you sure you're not doing this because of me?" Yeah, she's doing it because of you.
Yeah.
I mean, hello. Why else would she leave?
Don't be such a dope.
Yeah.
Don't be such a dope.
Tyler Najir again makes a good comment. Sarah's dropping down all over the place and everyone thinks it's normal.
I know.
Like no one's like, maybe we need to, get you admitted or something.
Everyone's under a lot of stress.
Yeah. I think we covered everything. John and Marlena were kind of in there. Brady was kind of in there too. I put him in the mix with his storyline because he was in there in some way.
But Nicole also had a couple opportunities to be straight with Eric, and she wasn't.
Nope, and that's going to cause a strain on their relationship because now she's hiding this from him. And he even questioned, too. I mean, I don't want to jump around, but the next day, he's like, okay, what was this big news? Kristen is pregnant with Brady's baby.
She was just backpedaling so hard.
And he's like, are you sure that's it? I mean, yeah, that's shocking, but that doesn't affect us directly. It's like, yeah, so he's even wondering, that doesn't make any sense that you would get that upset over it.
Do we think Nicole will tell Sarah that she knows about it?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Because my next question was, how do you think Eric is going to find out?
I think Nicole's going to confront Sarah before she confronts Eric.
And what? Tell her to get out of town?
I don't know.
She's certainly not going to say, please stay.
No. Well, I don't know. Maybe Nicole will help Sarah pass the baby off as someone else's.
Or Nicole can help Sarah get out of town, too.
Or that.
Yeah, but if
I don't know.
Eric finds out,
Possibilities.
if Sarah leaves town and Eric finds out that Nicole was part of the reason Sarah left town
Oh, yeah.
with the baby.
See, the thing is,
woo!
no, they'll eventually go back together. Like they'll be strained, but Eric and Nicole are each other's lobsters.
Okay.
Like they always make their way back to each other. Nicole has lied to him before, has deceived him before.
Mm-hmm.
He always goes back to her. So even if that were to happen, it would be okay because I know they're each other's lobsters, and they'll eventually make their way back to each other. Ding. Got it.
Ding ding.
Zoe Johnson, yes, Michael, she will make her a cake that says "I know." That's a great way. I love that.
This is what I think is really going to happen. Nicole and Sarah are going to get together somehow. They're going to get in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to confront her and just say, what are you really thinking about doing? Do you still have feelings for Eric? You know, realistically, what's your plan here? I think that they're going to have a heart-to-heart with that.
Okay.
Because Nicole has been, besides now, very reasonable with Eric and Sarah. She's the one that's
Very understanding.
Yeah, very understanding. She's the one that's saying, you know, a couple weeks ago, give Sarah some space. You do not have the right to put your foot down and tell Sarah what she needs to do or what she doesn't have to do, especially when he saw that she was getting involved with Xander. And she even confronted Eric when she overheard him and Marlena talking. Do you still have feelings for her?
Yeah, we need to have a conversation.
So she's very rational about it, and I think she's going to do that with Sarah.
Okay.
Be very rational about it. It's not like she's going to be like
Attack her
like a Kristen, like I'm going to pay you off and you're going to go this way.
Nicole will be rational until
she feels
thinks,
threatened.
Yes.
Till her relationship with Eric's threatened.
Because she and Sarah have always been on good terms.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like a Kristen Nicole thing, but until she feels threatened, then that's when the cause will
The
come out.
possibilities for how what road this storyline will take are multi-forked. How about that? Multi-pronged.
Multi-pronged.
So yeah, we'll see how this goes. But yes, Zara.
Zara. Is that the ship? I was
Xander
thinking
and
about
Sarah.
that the other day. Like,
Zara.
what's the ship for that? Zara.
Or Sander.
Sander?
With an S, not
With
a
an
Z.
S, yeah.
Sander.
Like
Because
Sander.
S
Sandy.
goes-
Sander.
What's the Liza?
Sander.
Liza with a Z,
Liza.
not Liza with an S, because
Yeah.
Liza with an S goes... Whatever. Sorry. I had too much coffee today.
Too much.
I think we covered
I
everything.
think that's
Yeah.
it.
All right. Now we're going to get a little seeing. A little
Thank
seeing
you.
time.
Yes.
I really don't know what to make of Miss Jordan.
I know.
This birthday party. Okay, so Ben, where do we want to start? Ben finds a toy outside, and
Well, even before that, they have a confrontation. Yeah.
They had a confrontation. It was Ben, Rafe, and Jordan.
In the town square.
Ben's telling Rafe, by the way, Rafe, did Jordan tell you that she's stalking Sarah? And the elevator incident that Rafe had no idea about.
Yep.
And
Okay, so do we think... Do any of us think Jordan was driving? That's pretty much... We know she wasn't driving, right?
No, because they did get confirmation that it was a drunk driver.
unless she
But
hired
do we
somebody.
think... Exactly. I'm thinking she wasn't the one driving. She may not have been behind the wheel, but do we think she set that up?
Paid someone to take the fall.
And do we think that if she did, it was just a scare tactic, or do you think she was trying to kill Sierra or hurt Sierra, or just scare her?
Scare tactic. What Jordan's trying to do is she's trying to lay low so that way Ben and Sierra have their guard down. And I don't know if that's when she's going to come in and attack or if that's when she's going to want to try to take down. I don't think she really wants to hurt Sierra, but she does still want to take down Ben. And she knows Sierra is Ben's weak moment. So if Sierra's in a threatening position, that's when Ben potentially might go back to his old ways. And I think Jordan wants to get him there. So that way he can go away forever. That was a theory that I had for a couple of weeks now. Now, at the end of this week, I'm not going to lie, I loved that moment between Jordan and
Ben.
Right. It was-
Yeah, where you think maybe
they were
there's an
kind of
olive
reconciling.
branch.
Yeah.
But no.
So, backtrack a little bit earlier in the week. After the confrontation at Horton Town Square, Ben went back, called Victor, and
Oh
said,
my gosh.
and said, "Go ahead."
After Victor ordered pizza.
Yeah. So Victor ordered the hit. We'll assume it was going
Which
to be a hit.
surprised me because I thought he was just going to drag her out of town and lock her up
Well,
somewhere.
that's what I thought. But I think
and
he decided after the. I think did he decide after the conversation with Sierra about the elevator? He called the guy and said, do it.
That was a gasp moment for me.
But Ben didn't he call Victor to call it off, and that's why Victor.
Yeah. I think originally Victor's plan was just to get her out of town.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he had that conversation, like you said, with Sierra, he realized, okay, she's really a threat to my granddaughter. Made the phone call. Jordan needs to die tonight. Tami gasps. And then we find out Jordan was not part of the hit and run. Ben now has a change of heart that maybe he's overreacting a little bit because he's just really scared for Sierra. Has that conversation with Ben or texts him, like call things off.
Yeah.
And then the pizza was canceled.
I'm surprised
But
they
she
ate
kept the
that
pizza. Well, I know. Like, why are you eating the Mr.
Yeah.
Would you eat that pizza?
As much, no.
No.
As much of a foodie as I am, and as much as
And
I
you
love
are.
the pizza,
I'm
I'm a
shocked.
huge pizza
as
lover.
much as I love the pizza, I'd be suspicious about a free pizza that I did not order.
Especially in Salem.
Yeah, I'm surprised there was even a pizza inside.
That was my thinking. I was shocked that there was an actual
Yeah.
pizza in there.
They were eating the hell out of that pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I would not. So some chat room chatter. Juan Diaz, Jordan is cray cray. It's been revealed she killed their mother. She'll be sent back to Bayview very soon. Days of Our Lives fan talk. Melissa Boyette. I think she wants to hurt Sierra and blame Ben. So she's
Well,
kind of
that's
in
my-
agreement with you
yeah.
that she's after Ben.
I
not Sierra.
don't think she
She's-
has
she's
any
after Ben
qualms.
through Sierra.
I don't think she has any qualms about killing Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
Was the hit and run made to kill her? I think so.
Okay.
I don't. Just in order to have Ben be blamed for he's still a threat to Sierra.
Mike Bowman. The family is crazy. Period.
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 They're crazy.
I know.
I agree with you, Tammy, because let's just say if Sierra does get injured very badly or she does get killed, Ben's snapping right back to his old ways.
Well, Jordan tried to kill Sierra twice. Yes?
Well, yeah, she kidnapped her and tried to set the cabin.
Yeah,
I think
right,
set
yeah.
the cabin on fire.
Not twice, but
And
yeah, she
then-
did try
and-
to kill her.
No, and then again in the hospital.
And then in the
hospital.
That's when
Yeah.
Ben came in and almost killed Jordan
And
because he
that's-
was protecting Sierra.
And that's when Sierra made the point to her mom, Hope, saying, look, did you see that he was honestly going to kill her in that hospital
His
room?
own sister, yeah.
His own sister. So she's like, I'm nervous that he's so protective over me that if anything does happen to me, I'm afraid he's going to go back to his old ways, Mom. And then that's when Hope said, well, when you really love somebody, you will do anything.
Hope.
Oh, that was a good conversation.
Hope-
when your family's threatened,
Yeah.
was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may do
I don't
things
think-
you never.
Well, and we'll get to this, but I don't
expected.
think that was Hope.
That
talking.
wasn't fully
no,
Hope.
I love
We'll
it.
get
I
to
know.
that.
No,
I
we'll
agree.
get to it, but that really wasn't
I
fully
agree.
Hope.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So Jordan invites Rafe and Sierra to the birthday party, and she's
Ben
cutting.
and Sierra?
Ben and Sierra, yeah.
You said Rafe and Sierra.
Sorry, Ben and Sierra. My
Okay.
bad. I think I saw Rafe's name on the thing. Anyway, so she's cutting out the little paper people, and she makes a comment about how it'll be like a party to remember, so. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Poison?
Lots of events coming up. We got the first birthday party. We have the Ilani wedding coming up in 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
weddings.
you know when they start talking about these events upcoming, you're like, ooh, it's gonna be good.
Yes.
It's gonna be happening.
And that was, backtracking really quick when Julie was saying to Eli and Lonnie because they wanted to postpone the wedding, and she's got all emotional.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is going to be a
Don't
great
do
day.
it.
Don't do it. And then oh gosh. Bad
All
things
right.
are coming down the pike.
I know. Hopefully, good drama.
Good drama.
Good drama. Always love some good drama.
And speaking of good drama, let's talk a little bit about AfterBuzz TV and all the good dramas and recaps that we have here. If you are a fan of our show, you will be a fan of literally hundreds of recap shows that AfterBuzz TV does here. It used to be hundreds, but it's like, woo, tons. Whatever your favorite show is, chances are there's a recap for it. So go onto YouTube, go onto AfterBuzz TV, and see what kind of recaps we got going on that you're going to love. As Maria Menounos and Kevin Indegaro say, AfterBuzz TV is the ESPN of TV talk. And we are thankful and so grateful every single day that the fans support our show, the fans support AfterBuzz TV. Thank you. We love you. Keep it going and share the love, you guys. Yes.
Yay.
Tidbit time.
That message brought to you by the kind folks at AfterBuzz TV.
Tidbits. Hope and neck pains. I love that. Hope, neck pains, John Marlena.
So basically Hope was, again, like they were saying, Sarah's dropping all over town and everyone's like, oh, Hope is going around acting weird around everybody. And they're like,
Can I just say, though, that Christian Alfonso's performances have been amazing because the nuances that she's been able to play, you can see when she slips into Princess Gina or whoever this alter ego is going to be, and we'll have that conversation in a minute. But you can see her slip, and then she slips back into Hope, and you see the confusion by Hope.
I started noticing it whenever she had like a neck pain. Whenever she kind of like zoned out.
But even the accent came through.
Did you? I didn't hear the accent.
There were certain words that she would say that had a bit of a, she had that
Gina
posh
accent,
thing. Like, why would I need would you like me to drive you? When Sarah said, would you like me to drive you to the hospital? Well, why would I need a driver? It was just how she said it.
Okay.
It was
I didn't hear the accent, but I did kind of notice the way she worded
subtle.
it.
It was very
So subtle. So Christian Alfonso, man, so good.
Well, her behavior, she even did such a good job with acting, because even when she's staring at Gabby Sheik's window and she's just gazing over
the
that
dress.
Gown.
Yes.
Yeah, and Abe is just catching her like, Hope? And then she's like, oh, they just said Julie, she's going to be fine. And, they want to see him at the hospital. Abe is like, well, don't you want to go?
Weren't you there?
And she's like, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I do want to go. Thanks, bye. And
there was a moment like that last week when everybody was in Julie's room except Hope. Hope was in the lobby, and it was after Dr. Rolfe did whatever he did.
And Hope said, I feel so set apart from everyone.
Yeah.
I feel so distanced from everyone. And it's been really cool to truly see Hope disappearing. Hope is disappearing, and it's like she's trying really hard to hang on to herself, and she's disappearing into. You want to explain Princess Gina a little bit?
Yeah.
No,
Michael?
not really.
I just...
Who?
To explain the storyline.
Okay, so I was trying to prepare myself for this, and I don't remember every little detail. However, back in the day, it was like 98, 99. So I even have to go back further. Crap. Okay. So in 94, Hope had been dead for years, but then Hope resurfaced at Maison Blanche, but she was calling herself Gina. And so they went through this whole storyline about how Alice Horton was sure that Gina was Hope. And then it was discovered, okay, Gina is Hope. Flash forward a few years, Stefano has a chip implanted in Hope. We find this out later. Has a chip implanted in Hope, and now she's calling herself Princess Gina. And she's an art thief for Stefano. And so, and then Princess Gina's lobster was John Black.
Yes.
But I don't remember the details about that. But so John and Hope, as Princess Gina and Pawn John, we'll call him, had a fling.
Yes.
And I remember like this very graphic love scene with them with champagne and everything. And fans, at least, hated it because you were breaking up Bo and Hope and you were breaking up John and Marlena.
Yes.
I didn't like it just because it was just like, I'm like, really? You're able to control someone with a chip? And there was a secondary storyline at the same time where Rolf had implanted a chip in Vivian, and Stefano had this little remote, and he flipped a switch, and she went crazy. And I was like, this is... I understand that it doesn't have to be 100% realistic, but that's too far for me to go.
So you're...
I can do double possession, I can do baby switching, I can do lookalikes, but this was just like... I'm like, this is like... more sci-fi, and I'm not really into that. So personally, I was glad a year and a half later.
That was a long story plot.
When the storyline finally ended, and Hope kind of... I remember the scene, like, Hope came... It was Hope, and I think it was with Bo and Hope, and she was crying, and I was like, thank you, Lord, that this is over.
But you were saying Ron wasn't the writer back in the day.
Ron was not the
so
writer,
you're thinking
so maybe Ron will write it. Ron and his team of writers will write it in a way that I actually am able to accept it. And she's already starting to steal, because she walked into the Demir mansion after and just straight up took the...
So now that
Stefano
makes
painting.
sense to me.
Yeah.
And is she now, you think, because she took Stefano's portrait down, that she's going to put her own one up?
Well, if she's an art thief, is that why she took it down? As a kind of...
Well, we don't know that
resale?
yet. We don't know what... She's going to post it on eBay?
I don't know.
No, we don't know yet why she... I mean, it could be related to that. But that was what Princess Gina did for Stefano, among other things. But yeah, because I remember there was... When Hope realized what Stefano was doing to her, making her think she was Princess Gina, I remember her, like... where it was very Alias, like she was having to like rappel down to steal this really important piece of art, and she was doing it. They were doing it kind of as a heist to trap Stefano. So yeah, that's as best as I can describe it.
So Abe thinks she's acting strange. Marlena and John think she's acting strange.
Kate thinks so.
Kate,
They had an
that's
interaction.
right.
They were matchy.
Sierra.
In their blue outfits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because the scene with Sierra and Hope, I almost felt like this is going to be the last time you're going to see your mother. Like literally see her before she disappears into Princess Gina or whoever this incarnation is going to be.
I will say, I did like it back in the day when it was with Princess Gina's plot, was when the whole crew went to Paris, and then they had that the plane broke down because of Dr. Ralph. He was part of it. And then we got to see, with Bo and Sean and Eric and
Teenage
Greta.
Sean?
Yes, Teenage Sean. So if they do a repeat with this, it'll be interesting to see how Sierra reacts to this. Because I remember with Sean, how he reacted. And, when Princess Gina, held the gun at Sean, when he fell over the edge. And he's just like, that's not my mom. And that's when Belle was trying to help him. And that's when, he finally got Bo to realize, saying something's wrong with her. It's now going to be interesting with the next generation with Sierra and Ben and how they take to it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
That last scene was so
I'll
great.
be open to it. I talk a lot of crap, but I'll be open to it. Because, again, new writer, reimagining, maybe it'll strike my fancy more than the first time. How about that?
I love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
So the neck pain, you think that's where he implanted something?
Mm-hmm.
I think someone on Twitter reminded that that's where he did it before.
Okay.
But I can't remember if that's factual or not.
He injected her in the arm, so what's up with the neck thing? And then I thought, it's probably whatever he scalpeled her with. A little scalpel thing.
So that's what she took the portrait, took it into the tunnels.
And I love the ambiance of that scene. Just the darkness of the house.
Yeah.
It was a perfect setup for it.
It was really good. She just walks in. And then she just stares over at the portrait.
With that smile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And little raise of the eyebrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a good...
I liked it a lot. Speaking of liked it a lot, I love seeing Tony and Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, finally!
Yeah.
Finally,
And they're
Tony,
happy.
Anna, Kate, Victor, and some Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So Anna wanting Tony to why do you give him that ring?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then
Yes.
Roman, yeah, maybe you can sell it.
She's like, I have something for you, and Tony takes this. It's obviously a ring box, and he opens it up, and it's the ring that Roman had given to her.
She gave it to Roman to give to her
to
fake
her.
propose to her. Yeah.
And Teo's reactions to Leanne.
Yeah.
They're just
They
hysterical.
were so well off each
They
other.
do.
It's like, darling, just be patient. And he's laughing at her. It was such a great moment.
Yeah. They're
I
cool.
loved
They're
it.
She's
great.
like, I guess we can live in sin a little longer.
No, and I like how she takes the ring to Roman.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's like, I figured you could sell it and make some money.
Something with
Please
it.
don't marry me.
No,
Let's
she's
make
like-
this official.
I like how she was like, you're off the hook. I
Yes.
was like, I think he knew that. I'm pretty sure he knew, like, oh yeah, that was over. But
Where does Leanne, where does Anna's money come from?
I was, okay, chat
Yeah.
room, I need some confirmation on that because it was mentioned quite a few times that
She's independently
she's
wealthy.
independently
Yeah.
wealthy. She has her own money. She can take care of the both of them. Tony's being old-fashioned and wants to provide and wants to... And I was confused for a moment because I was like, wait, this isn't like Tony, like being old. But I'm like, wait, I'm thinking of Andre. Andre probably wouldn't be like that, but Tony would be. So that's why I was like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, I think there were some
Yeah.
people on social this week saying that. I think Annie Goen said, you know what, that was an Andre response, not a Tony response.
Oh.
And Teo's so brilliant and just kind of keeping everybody on their toes about it. So who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows?
It's gonna come out more with him running out Demira.
Yeah, so Shin reached out to Tony?
Yeah, apparently.
Why? I mean, he Shin wanted Kate.
Yeah.
But now Kate
So-
is okay. So it was explained that Shin wanted Tony to be CEO while Kate was recovering. Kate couldn't convince Shin
That
that
she
she's
was-
fine, that she's recovered, she can take over. But now Tony is like got a little bit of the power
The
or
bug,
whatever, the
yeah.
bug, yeah, and wants to go with it. And Kate's fear is that once he's in there, he's not going to leave.
So as of right now, it's a temporary.
Yeah.
It's
It wasn't. That wasn't
interim
really-
CEO.
That wasn't. I don't think that was explained up front. It was explained as the week went on.
Yeah.
But Kate's furious, and just as she's furious about this, Victor comes walking in, and gives Kate her own offer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to fire Brady. Come take over as CEO at Titan. So
And
now
Kate was
Kate's in a
reading.
good position.
Kate verbalized exactly what I was thinking. It's like, Victor, you fire and hire Brady so many times.
Yeah.
Like, who's to say I'm going to take this job and then you're going to decide to put Brady back into the position again?
Right.
But I did like.
That's a rational. Yeah.
It is.
Because he does like. Whenever Victor, that's Victor's power over Brady.
Yes.
Whenever he does something that Victor doesn't approve of, all right, you're fired.
Yeah. And with Kristen now in the mansion.
Yeah.
But I did like how Kate brought up saying, well, of course this is happening to me because this isn't the first time that an unprepared man is taking a position of a
Yes.
very overqualified woman.
Ah!
Yeah.
Touche.
Mm-hmm.
Touche.
I liked how Roman backtrack a little bit. Roman came to visit her at the beginning of the week and like trashed Ralph's flowers. Do you remember? That just popped into my
Creepy.
head. I know, like that's the scene.
Yes.
It's like, you don't need this.
It's like Dr. Rolf he can bring people back to life, but he can't keep flowers alive. There was a comment about that kind of made me laugh. So yeah, Kate's kind of in a interesting position right now. Because she could easily accept Victor's offer. And I believe that Victor would uphold his end of the bargain, fire Brady and put her in charge. But then that would put her at odds with Gabriella.
No, not, well, kind of. But she's even telling Gabby when they were in the Demir mansion, saying, look, I have to do what's best for me. I might not just stick around because Tony's going to get comfortable here, and I might not be CEO again here, so I might head over to Titan. But you are Miss Stefan Demira still.
Mm-hmm.
Take that opportunity, make those plans happen, and you fight for CEO. So she was encouraging Gabby, and that kind of is what snapped Gabby a little bit out of her grieving stage.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, when it comes to a point with Gabby and Kate both being CEOs, it could get interesting, but for right now, I don't see that happening.
And I think there was a moment where when Kate told Gabby that she was thinking about Victor's offer, Gabby kind of panicked, like, don't leave me alone here.
Oh.
Yeah.
don't, and that's like, because she's in such a vulnerable place right now with the grief. But then, like you said, that's when Kate said, you got this. You need to fight for your husband's vision and for the DiMera seat as CEO. Gabby, CEO, Kate, Sierra,
well, because Sierra's starting to do her
she brought that proposal
training.
thing to Victor. He's like,
You could have emailed this to me.
And that was so sweet. She's like,
They have cute moments together.
well, you know what's going on with Julie. I just want to be able to see more time
He says
with
something
you.
like, you're afraid I'm going to croak sometime
exactly,
soon?
It's like, I'm not going anywhere, honey.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Well, and then after that is when Gabby got out the bionic visionary
The
bionics.
files, yes, and
So
she made that phone call.
I'm really interested in where that's going to take
Me
us.
too.
So,
Me too.
yeah.
I
we
think that
covered
was
everything.
it
Yes.
for that tidbit.
We got to mention, we were talking about this, I think. Did we talk about on air or before we went on air about Kate and her, like... No, we talked about it on air. Kate and her, like, oh, that's wonderful news. And then she was out of it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
she just walks out.
Car's here, mwah, bye.
That's the Kate I like.
And
That's
then
the Kate
Lucas,
I know
we
and
got to
love.
say, Lucas leaving the landscape. And it was so funny. Every time he told somebody he was leaving, everyone said, but you just got here.
Yeah.
Yes.
That little double. Yeah. He just got here. And he's leaving again.
Hopefully he'll be back. We like
Yeah,
Brian
we
Taylor.
I
like
know.
Love Brian Taylor. Love
We
Lucas.
love him.
Give him some good stuff.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, lastly,
Jack, Jennifer, and Abe. So,
Oh, yeah.
Abe, so Jack is on his forgiveness tour. And he says to Jen, are you okay here at the hospital? I've got some stuff I need to do. So he meets Abe at Brady's pub and proceeds to apologize for everything. And Abe, rightfully so, is a little standoffish because he's still pretty hurt about everything.
yeah, obviously, yeah.
But I was surprised. Were you surprised that Jack
I didn't see the job offer coming.
I didn't
no,
see him
I was expecting it just to be
stepping down?
No, I didn't see that coming either.
Yeah.
That just shows that's Jack.
Yeah.
But do you think Jack, like if Jack had always been Jack, do you think he would have run for mayor?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't
Okay.
think so.
No, that was Eve's influence.
Yeah. So he never would have run for mayor.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Or he might have, but no. I'm sticking with my guts. No. he
Yeah.
wouldn't have.
He certainly would have thought
That was all Eve.
Yeah. Jack, being Jack, certainly would never have thought that he would do a better job than Abe.
Or go against Abe because they're
Or go
they're
against
good friends.
Abe. Yeah.
So, but yeah, the whole job offer, and he's like, "I'll step down and you'll take over," and Abe's like, "That's not how it works." But then he's like, "Oh, but it's in the charter or whatever that if the mayor steps down, city council has to
Due to
appoint-
whatever circumstance,
Yeah,
and there are
has-
definitely circumstances.
Sorry, I don't know why that made me giggle. The city council has to appoint a new mayor, and he has, tremendous influence. So, yeah. I can't remember what Abe's answer was now.
I just loved. I think he went with it.
I think he decided to do it.
Yeah, he went with it.
They had a
because
deal. They made a deal.
They made
Okay.
a deal because that's when Jennifer came in.
Right.
And then Jack said, "Well, friends." Abe is like, "Welcome back,
Jennifer's
home,
just
old
glowing.
friends."
Yeah.
Like my Jack is back.
Yes.
Yay.
And I'm still noticing the difference in Matt Ashford's performance. So much. One of you mentioned it last week. Maybe just lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like calm, light.
Yeah.
And the way, when Abe and Jack hug, and then Abe looks over at Jennifer like, "Yeah, we got him back."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
Really sweet.
I'm
Sweet.
interested. I'm interested to see more Jack and Jennifer. I want
I'm
more Jack and
sure-
See
Jennifer.
what shenanigans they get
Yes.
I'm just hoping that Abe can get it because technically Eve and Jack are still married, right?
into. Oh, do you think this is when Eve's going to come
Yes.
in with her
I think because
BS?
I don't know if there's some rule or not, but if Jack takes a step down, can the wife
The
step
wife-
up?
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Eve is mayor of Salem.
I don't know.
God help everybody.
Just
Jesus.
throwing it out there. I hope not.
Good Lord.
But I don't know. I could just see
Pray
that
for
there's
Salem.
some
Yeah.
Hashtag pray
something
for
that
That
comes
is
Salem.
up.
wrong on every level.
Just yeah.
Why did you even bring that up?
I know. I should have not brought that up. Terrible thought. But I was thinking, there's always something, and I want
Yeah.
Abe to be mayor.
I mean, she's right. You have a point.
But I'm just saying, the only thing that can step in his way is if Jack doesn't want the position. Eve and Jack, they're still together.
They're still married.
So she could be the one to step up.
I forgot about Eve for a second because she
Yeah.
hasn't been on the landscape. But she's staying in Salem and she's coming back full force, revenge against Jen. So,
All right.
I think that's
it. I think we covered everything. Everything. That was a doozy.
And we're going to do everything more with our segments.
That's our favorite part of the
It's
show,
our
as
favorite
Tony
part of the
says.
show.
Shout out to Tony Moore.
Yes, we miss him, but he's busy. He's working today.
Taking a break this week, but he'll be back next week.
So let's start with our first segment.
Designer Days. Fashion. Elegance.
The lights. They get me every time. I don't know why.
Designer Days.
So you guys, this week really rocked fashion-wise. I had a lot of heavyweight contenders that I will probably in the next couple of weeks bring to the forefront because they deserve some spotlights. But this one, so Nicole wore this halo jumpsuit. I think it was on Tuesday. It was between, well, I'm not going to tell you what it was between, but this one, this is one of my fashion goals. Like, I've always wanted a halo dress or a halo jumpsuit, and I actually didn't know they had jumpsuits. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, I need this. Ari Zucker. This jumpsuit. Gonna give some descriptions. This was in navy blue. It also comes in black and in cream. It's an asymmetric V-neck with a scoop back, contoured cap sleeves, front slit pockets, which I love.
Pockets
With a wide leg silhouette. You can find it on bloomingdales.com for $415. It's a little pricey, but this is one of those pieces where it's timeless. Like, you can have this for years. And it's gorgeous.
To piggyback off Ari Zucker, she also looked really good in that pink number. Was it pink or red?
It was red.
The red number.
I almost
she was
went for that.
The second
one
half
was
of the
good.
week.
I know.
Yeah. Ari is one of those, like, she could make fashion out of a trash bag, I think.
know.
Like,
She
she
and
could put on
Lauren
a hefty
Kozlow.
bag and
too.
and still rock it and look amazing.
So for this week, it goes to Miss Ari Zucker.
Designer Days.
And up next is...
Caption that.
All right, this week's Caption That photo comes courtesy of Jordan accepting her free pizza and not murder.
Her outfit, too, was amazing.
She looked really good, too. She really can bring out really rocks, like, the bright colors.
Yeah.
The neons and stuff. Anyway, this week's caption goes to Dr. Quinn, or Harley Quinn, on Twitter with his or her caption, pineapple on the pizza is abhorrent. Remove this abomination from my presence immediately.
And I agree. I can't stand pineapple on pizza.
Pineapple on pizza. I'm not a toppings person to begin with. I have a runner-up because there was a caption that I really personally related to and just had to include it. Bam Betty Ann on Instagram with, thanks for the pizza. Now I can eat pizza and drink wine and watch my soap opera Days of Our Lives.
Classic.
Hashtag goals.
Bam Betty Ann, that's
Goals,
awesome.
yes.
I love
That was
it.
good.
Thank you both for your captions, and that was this week's
Caption that.
Up next...
Aww. Okay, this week's aw surprised me a little bit, but I'm going to go with it. It goes out to Ben and Jordan.
Yeah.
Ben. Sorry, I'm doing my phone here. I'm never going to forget that you took care of me when I was too little to take care of myself.
Aww.
Wouldn't it be great if we could stop waiting for the worst to happen and just live in
In
the
the
moment?
moment.
That
Yeah.
was good. Jordan starts to tear up in her eyes, and right before Ben leaves, she calls after him, and he invites her to David's first birthday party. Ben asks, "Are you serious?" Jordan says, "Yes, I miss those days too, when you were my baby brother." Jordan, life is short when we only get so much time, and we are only family, so maybe tomorrow can be a new start for us. And yeah, it kind of surprised me a little bit.
Short-lived.
Yeah, short-lived.
But it was a
short-lived
beautiful moment.
good moment. And I just loved when Ben is walking away, and that's when she's tearing up and she calls him back. And that moment was like, okay, that's my awe. So, Ben and Jordan, you get my awe moment of the week. It's like, aww.
Rob Wilson and Chriselle Hartley do the sibling thing
So
so well. Like you
Yeah.
believe they're brother and sister.
Marnie, Saida,
Yeah.
brilliant casting
She won that Emmy for a reason.
for a reason.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
should we do Me World?
yeah.
Shout
Shout
Me World
out,
and
shout out
his
to Me World.
His oh shiz moment goes to not oh snap. Oh shiz.
Oh, shoot.
There were a lot of them.
To Sarah's freak out moments on Friday when she thinks Maggie and Eric know about her bun in the oven. Oh shiz. Check out Twitter at MeWorld2 for video highlights.
You guys, you really
He
do
put in
need
his plug. I like that.
You do need to check it out because it is hysterical what he did.
Oh, I didn't see the video. I saw
Oh
he
my
posted
God,
the video.
it's
I
so
have to watch
fabulous.
it.
Anyway, thank you,
It's fabulous.
Thank you, MeWorld2, for always being a contributor to our little show.
We
here.
love it.
We love it.
I thought it was gonna be Victor. You know, I want her dead. That moment.
yeah.
Was that me?
Oh, shiz. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And now it's time for. Sorry, I'm just taking over.
I love it.
We have some casting news to tell you about. Actress Marilyn McCoo is returning as Lonnie's mother and Abe's old flame, Tamara Price. She's coming back for the celebration of the Elani wedding. Marilyn will be joined by her real-life husband, Billy Davis Jr., so you can look for Marilyn and Billy to show up in Salem on November 1st in 2 weeks.
They're musicians. They're singers too, right?
Are they?
Marilyn McCoo.
I didn't
and-
deep dive into it.
I
but-
think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Maybe, because maybe
Chat
that's why they're
room?
coming together.
Is there music history with Miss Marilyn? I think so.
All right. Okay, something to look into. Next, fans of soap hunks, listen up. I think we're all a fan of those. The Real Hunks of Daytime, Galen Gehring, Michael Mueller, Donnell Turner, and Lawrence St. Victor will be appearing on the talk show The Real tomorrow, Monday, October 21st. So get your hunk on and check local listings for time and channel. I think it's one of those syndicated shows that's on at various times and channels depending on where you're at. So heads up for that.
And I think over the last few months, soap opera actors have been making more talk show appearances,
It seems that
daytime
way,
talk
yeah.
show appearances, which has been awesome. I love that
Me
spotlight
too.
they're giving
Me
them.
too.
We have confirmation that yes, they are.
Yeah.
Marilyn and are musical.
Yeah,
a musical
that's what
group.
I remember them
and
as.
John Del Rey, she was the host of Solid Gold.
Oh
The
my
show Solid-
God! Yes, solid gold dancers.
Awesome.
I
You
wanted
look
to
like
be
the
one.
mother of a solid gold dancer. Golden Girls. Okay, back to Days. We are now less than 3 weeks away from the weekend Days fans look forward to every year, the annual Day of Days weekend. Tickets are still available for Starstruck fan events Yesterdays and Happy Hour with Ari Zucker and Sean Christian on Friday, November 8th here in LA. Many past Days actors are going to be there, so get your tickets now at Starstruck Fans 2 on Twitter or StarstruckFanEvents.com. Also, a friendly reminder, the main event, Day of Days, will be taking place Saturday, November 9th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Universal City Walk. The all-day event is free to attend for all Days fans.
It's
so,
amazing.
Yeah.
book your tickets now, or you don't need tickets to that. Book your plane tickets if you're coming from out of town. And there's our little event,
Yes.
which sold out for a second time this week. You all sold out the first batch of tickets in like 4 or 5 days, something ridiculous. So we added some more tickets, and within hours, those were sold. So we can't thank you enough. We appreciate it so much, your support, and we're looking forward to the event. Maybe we'll do some live streams or something on social during the event so that everybody can feel involved in it, and we're looking forward to it.
It's going to be
right?
exciting.
It's going to be a
It's
fun
gonna be-
night.
I know it was
Awesome.
done once before a couple of years ago, and you attended it.
I did.
But this will
Yeah,
be
it was
it'll
fun.
be our first,
Nice
Chelsea
little
and I's
gathering
first
and
Yes.
ABTV welcome, fan welcome.
Good
So that'll be
And
fun.
speaking of first,
Yeah.
we are very excited to announce Tammy and I started this new show called Soap News Weekly. Where
Congratulations, you two.
Thank
I'm
you,
so
thank
excited.
You, so excited. We go live every Thursday evening at 6:15 Pacific Coast time and then 9:15 Eastern time. And it's just so much fun. We get to talk about the news and what's the gossip that's happening with daytime television and soap operas in general. So be sure to check us out. And we've been loving everything on Twitter so
Yes.
far. Tammy texted me saying, "Oh my gosh, Twitter's taking a liking to this." So
Yeah.
Oh,
be
yeah.
sure to check us out.
Soap News Weekly. We're on Insta and we're on Twitter.
Yeah.
Soap News Weekly.
And we'll
at
be-
Soap News Weekly. So
And we're
I
starting
follow.
Facebook
You guys
too.
should too.
follow, like,
Yes.
comment.
Follow
We
us.
appreciate it.
Follow,
Yes.
comment, engage.
And it was interesting when we started the show. We're thinking, oh, I wonder how how much news is out there. Like, holy moly.
Tammy and I feel like we need to do this daily.
We could.
Yeah.
We could. Hashtag goals. So we'll see.
Yes. Yeah. And
Is that it for the week?
I think that's it for the week.
I think that's it for the week. I can't
Yeah.
wait until next week. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, I was 175 live viewers right now for us.
Oh, you
Thank
guys.
you so much, guys.
Thank you
for,
so much.
for tuning in and sharing
We
and
love you.
getting your friends to watch and it all. We do this for us, but we also do it for you. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much. What camera am I looking at now? I never know.
Where can people find you on the socials, Mr. Michael?
Oh, you can find me on the Twitter at MLMattis1 and on the Instagram at MLMattis.
And you can find me on Instagram at Chelsie Overocker. That's Chelsea with an IE. And on Twitter at Chels Overocker.
And you can find Dishin Days on Insta and Facebook at Dishin Days and on Twitter at _Dishin Days. You can find me on Twitter at Tami Goveia and Insta Tami.Goveia. You guys, thanks again for all of
Thank
your
you so
support.
much.
We will see you next week.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.